So today I'm going to be reacting to a video called 12 Reasons Why Canada is the Best Country in the World. So obviously I've been reacting to a lot of videos about Canada recently, and for me there's a lot of reasons why Canada could potentially be the best country in the world. Whether it's just Canadian people in general, their personality, they seem like some of the greatest people in the world. It's history, as I watch with the Heritage Minutes videos. Canada has such a rich history in so many different areas. Could be the weather, you know, some people love that extreme cold weather. It could be the economy and how rich and successful a country it is as well. But many reasons, these are just things I've learned from the videos previously, and there's many other reasons, but looking forward to finding out these 12 reasons why. Let's check this out and we can find out together.
Canada, the Great White North. The country which is very highly regarded across the world. Personally, I've never heard a bad word spoken about this beautiful country.
Me too.
From the freezing cold, raw north to the clean, metropolitan, bustling cities, Canada has it all. The polite, maple syrup, ice hockey loving people are renowned across the world as being some of the friendliest, most welcoming citizens in the world.
That's true.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Geography Bible. My name's Sam, I'm your narrator for the video. How's it going? In this video, we will give you 12 reasons why we think Canada is the best country in the world. If you are Canadian watching this video, then feel free to comment below confirming or voicing your opinion on our points.
Tell me what reasons why you think,
so let's kick off
in
this
your
video
opinion,
with number 12.
Tell me, the people's first, this is what I actually mentioned, which is quite funny. But if you're from Canada, tell me why you think Canada is the best country in the world. If you do, if you don't, then tell me why not, or tell me what country you like better.
The people. Canadians are funny, friendly, easygoing, welcoming, kind and polite. Of course, however, this doesn't mean that every single Canadian is friendly, as no country is perfect. But overall, Canadians are seen as some of the friendliest people in the world. In my eyes, they are quite similar to Australians, where everyone seems to be everyone else's mate until proven otherwise. The outdoor lifestyle and the great quality of life, as well as the great education, means that people are generally happy and respect each other. Number 11.
That's actually true. Like I never thought about the similarities with Australia. Actually, I also have a channel where I make reactions to Australia, which is very interesting to learn about. And there are a lot of similarities with things like the quality of life, with the big cities that are very great modern cities, but also having the great nature and landscapes and other pieces of land. Also having a lot of barren land and uninhabited land in large parts of the country. How large parts of the population are living in small sections geographically. A lot of similarities with Australia that I hadn't considered actually, but the people is another one. I feel like every video I watch and everybody I speak to and every experience I've had of people talking about Canadian people has always been extremely positive. And there's not many countries where that's actually the case. I live in Malaysia, I live in Asia, and people are a bit more reserved and have very different personalities to what I would imagine they are in Canada. And having that is such an underrated thing for just being a place that people want to move to. You know, when people talk about going to a country, it's always for things like the wages, the job opportunities, the quality of life, but they never really talk about the people, because I think not enough countries have people that are really great and friendly. Being friendly and nice is just such an important attribute for a person to have, and something I believe in personally. Canada seems like it's like such a great place for that. But tell me from Canada what you think about that. Do you think is there a percentage of people who are just not very nice, or is everybody generally quite nice?
Canada is culturally diverse and accepting. The country is pretty progressive and very multicultural. When you move to Canada, you are encouraged to keep your traditions, religion, language and culture. In Toronto alone, there are more than 150 languages spoken, and more than 20% of the population of Canada was born abroad. It's not possible to walk down a street in Vancouver or Toronto without hearing a foreign language or catching the scent of some tempting international cuisine. Visit any major city in Canada and you will feel like you are taking a tour to more than just one country. Neighbourhoods like Chinatown, Little Italy or even Koreatown in Toronto can be found in the major cities and provide an immersive cultural experience for tourists and the natives.
Most accepting of migrants. Yeah, I really like that as well. I'm somebody who, again, I'm a foreigner in Malaysia, so I feel very welcomed here and very accepted. So multiculturalism and treating other people nicely from other cultures and letting them bring their own culture and be proud of that as well is important to me. And again, it's another similarity with Australia. I went to Melbourne in Australia, and very multicultural place, and I love that. Just a melting pot, and with just having that mixture of people, it brings things like different cuisines and different backgrounds and different ways to learn from one another. I love that about Canada, how they really embrace that. If you're from Canada, what problems has that brought, if any? How do you find that yourself? Do you enjoy that so many migrants actually move to Canada? Is there any issues with it? I know that in the UK, there are a lot of people who have issues with migrants and then maybe assimilating. I don't know. Tell me more about your own personal stories within Canada about that.
Terrain and climate. You'd be forgiven for thinking Canada is all about mountains and forests, when in fact it boasts some stunning beaches too. Long Beach, which is in Vancouver Island, British Columbia, is probably one of the most famous. Long sandy shores with scenery to rival any you might see on a postcard from around the world. This is just one of many amazing beaches Canada-wide. From the Rockies to the Three Sisters, Canada has some serious mountain action going on. Amazing snow-capped peaks offer not only stunning views, but also amazing sporting opportunities, from skiing to hiking to paragliding, if you're into that. Canada has a wonderfully varied climate, from permafrost in the north to a much warmer climate towards the south. In summer, if you're in the right place, temperatures can easily reach 35 degrees Celsius. Autumn in Canada is relatively short, but a wonderful burst of bright colours that you'll look forward to every single year. Number 9.
I like that as well, yeah. That's the thing it sets Canada apart as well, is there's not many countries in the world that have fantastic beaches as well as some of the best ski resorts and things in the world, or opportunities to ski and those snow-covered mountains and things. I never really knew. I knew of obviously the winter weather in Canada. I knew of that and what that would bring with regards to things like skiing, but I never knew Canada had such beautiful beaches. I found out just from this channel about the number of lakes in the country as well, which was quite mind-blowing. But I'm a fan of camping, hiking, things like that. Is there many countries in the world that can be done at a better quality than Canada? Like, the hiking and camping must be just amazing there. You must be able to get into like some real wilderness and be like, have that peaceful alone time, man.
It's nature and landscapes. Words really can't do justice just how beautiful Canada is. It's also massive, and this means that when you want to get away from it all, get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, you really can do. From forests to lakes and mountains, the landscape is varied and raw and gorgeous. Canada is easily one of, if not the most beautiful country in the world. In fact, it made number 1 in our top naturally beautiful countries. Number 8.
I think that's fair enough. You know, when I seen Banff National Park, it blew me away. Such natural beauty. Yeah, I'm from Scotland, so even we are said to have a wonderful and beautiful country, but even me seeing Canada, Canada's just absolutely floored me. It's such a wonderful place with just natural beauty, man.
Spacious, big housing. Canadian houses tend to be much larger than the houses in the UK, for example, and at much higher value for money. This, of course, due in part to the fact that there are lots more space to offer in Canada. You'll find that even the average family home feels a lot more spacious with a big garden, and having room makes it easier for families to get on well. If everyone has their own space, they are more likely to keep to themselves and cause less problems within the neighbourhood. Number 7.
Is that true? That's something I really hadn't considered. Like, I watched the video that was talking about the different provinces in Canada, and it mentioned the house prices and the variation of house prices around Canada in the different provinces. I never knew something so simple like the size of the house was such a good thing about Canada. Tell me if you feel that in Canada. Do you have a comfortable home? Do you think it's affordable? What do you think about house prices in Canada? How have the house prices changed over time? You know, I know that Canada in the cities, I think, had some problem with like foreigners buying up a lot of property, which was increasing the house price cost. Tell me if that's still an issue, or if it was an issue for you also.
The economy, jobs and high wages. Although Canada's population is relatively low, especially compared to its brother America, it still makes the top 10 largest economies on Earth. Canada's economy is growing, and growth inspires more need, which opens up all sorts of opportunities for professionals. But not only are there great opportunities, Canada's laid-back and relaxed lifestyle means that there is less of the stress you might experience in your home country. Number 6.
Yeah, tell me things about like the economy and working in Canada. I'm definitely interested in finding out more. And first of all, just if there's like how would actually someone like me would go about looking for jobs, or if it's easy for somebody just to move there, like me from the UK. I'm living in Malaysia. But also tell me about the work culture. What's it like working there? How are working with colleagues? Is it like friendly atmospheres? What's the work-life balance? What's the things like holidays and annual leave allowance and packages and things like that? Are they all very good, or is there anything that's not so good?
The space and the population density. So, very similar to Australia, Canada is the second largest country in the world, only behind Russia. When you are living in a town, a village, a neighbourhood, or wherever you are, there is a lot more space to deal with, and homes, of course, are much bigger. Canada also has huge parks, conservation areas, and big open spaces. This means a lot of extra breathing room because the country is not overpopulated. Canada is actually the 11th sparsely populated country in the world. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to all of Canada, as it do have some large cities, but as a whole, the country is very spacious. Number 5.
Yeah, and tell me how you feel about that. Do you actually feel that space? Again, I live in Kuala Lumpur, which is a bit of a busy, densely populated city. I enjoy it, but I also enjoy my peace and quiet. One thing here is it can be like, it's kind of like a 24/7 city where there's always places open, like restaurants and things. So there's always noise and hustle and bustle going on. Sometimes I do think I would like a more peaceful life. But tell me what you think about that. Do you feel that space? Do you prefer living in like a city or somewhere that's a bit more isolated? What do you prefer and why?
Wildlife. From bobcats to bison, and from beavers to bears, Canada really does have it all. There are amazing wild animals and birds to be seen across this vast country, and what you see from province to province will completely differ also. Number 4, it's education and healthcare. Similar to the UK's NHS, Canada's Medicare system offers free basic healthcare to everyone, based on need rather than the ability to pay. It's paid for by the Canadian citizens, pitching in towards the system via their taxes. Canada's education system is leaving rivals in the dust. According to surveys run by the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, Canada was one of only a handful of countries appearing in the top bracket for maths, science and reading. Number 3.
Yeah, tell me about that as well. That's something that's very important as someone who has a young family, 2 young children. And obviously we are like considering different places to move, whether it's somewhere like Australia, Germany. Canada definitely is another consideration. Obviously, healthcare and education are very important, and to hear that they have a high quality of both, affordable for both as well, is like a big selling point for me. Tell me how they are in reality. Do you feel the education system in Canada is very good? The healthcare system, how is it in reality to actually use it, like waiting times and costs and things like that as well?
It's a safe place to live and visit. Canada is considered one of the safest countries in the world due to its overall low crime rates. That's both violent and petty, and trusted police force. Of course, Canada is no angel. Crime still does occur, especially in the major cities. But compared to many other major countries, it is very safe. In the global peace rankings, Canada actually ranks at a very impressive 6th place in the world. It's also the 16th least corrupt nation in the world. Number 2.
Seems like Canada really is at the top of a lot of lists with regards to just general life being good and everything that's good about the country as well. Tell me about that as well. How do you feel about safety there? Do you feel safe? Again, it's something like with regards to people being friendly in Canada. From the outside, being from the UK, we just believe that it's Canada, as well as having like friendly and good people, that it's just a very safe place to live, especially compared to other countries. And this kind of confirms
Canada
that also.
has some of the best cities in the world. Cities in Canada are modern, smart, stylish, and very clean. A big attraction for those wanting to travel or move there. It's perfect for those who like the great outdoors, as well as that urban convenience. Canada's cities are spacious, well designed, and very easy to get around. You can easily live in a large suburban house and commute to work. As in any country, whilst it's true that the bigger cities such as Toronto and Vancouver may be crowded and expensive, you don't have to go far outside the city centre to find a comfortable and affordable lifestyle. And
Yeah, that's what I enjoy. As I said on a previous video, is I love city living. The one that, as I mentioned also in previous videos, that attracts me with regards to Canada is Vancouver. I don't know, I just felt like a connection after finding out some information about it and seeing it as a city and its location and things like that. It just looks like a great place. Tell me how you think Vancouver compares to the other cities in Canada for livability. What's good to do in Vancouver. Maybe I'll make another video about that also, but yeah, you've got to say, like, for consistency of big, great cities and modern, livable cities, Canada is almost incomparable with any other country. It really is fantastic.
And finally, number 1, it's clean air. It's official, Canadians breathe some of the cleanest air on the planet. A report by the Fraser Institute recently ranked Canada 9th out of the 33 richest and cleanest countries on the planet. If you're thinking of emigrating to Canada from the UK, this has got to be one of the top draws. Living in a country with clean air is so beneficial to your health and will help to prolong your life. So there we have it.
Yeah, I mean that is very important. Like, I mean, especially as I mentioned also, that the countries I've lived in for the last 10 years are Shanghai, Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. Definitely the air is not as clean as Canada, nowhere near, I would imagine. Being from Scotland originally, I think we have pretty clean air there. We have a lot of nature and a lot of trees and forests and things, and the temperature probably has an effect on that as well, to allow the air to be so clean. But Canada, I mean, I didn't know that was going to be the number one reason that Canada was the best country in the world, but it's something you don't think about, but it really actually helps and makes a difference to your quality of life, just to like walk out and breathe that clean, fresh air. Maybe people in Canada take that for granted, I don't know, but great list. It just makes me more interested to find out about actually potentially moving to Canada, if I'm being honest. Tell me what you like about Canada, what you think about this list. Was there anything missing that's important? Thanks.